to you one and all, it would seem that the winter is creeping in. I'm not complaining, but it is definitely fresher than it has been for a while. Got an exciting day lined up. And this afternoon we're busking in a very unusual place. But I'll explain more later. Busk in this unusual place a few weeks ago, and I thought I might as well bring you along because I think it's a good representation of how following this musical journey, this life of a musician, it ends up putting you in some pretty unusual places, and I mean that in the best way possible. Be able to tell, but I'm a bit under the weather still. I've had another cold, like the 4th cold I've had this year, which has meant that the last week I haven't been able to busk again. But you know, that's okay. Hopefully today all goes well. Just gonna take it real easy, especially this morning. I haven't got that long that I can play here for because I've got to get to this unusual place at 1:30. It's now 11:10. Luckily, the unusual place is paying me.
Sunday morning when she woke up fighting the head, and this here city real fishing out in Panama. And I gotta see my ex fishing love anymore. Oh Lord, when it rains it pours. When it rains it pours.
Yeah, yeah.
Growing up in the 70s.
Oh, really?
On the radio all the time. Stevie Miller Band, right?
Yeah, Stevie Miller Band. I love that song though. It's just so good. It's such a good vibe.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Like,
That's so cool.
I just put some money over it.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, I always like to see this
Shit.
because you really need to keep, you know.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
People need to hear live music, not
That's
electronic music.
It's so true. Yeah, yeah.
Well, not with what do they call it? Auto tune.
Yeah, yeah. No, I do.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Good.
Thank you so much.
Got my first real 16, poured it on the 5 and played it till my fingers black. Wish the summer I ceased now, because I'm in too deep and I'm trying to keep people in my head instead of going under, 'cause I'm in
Busking in unusual places. I guess like busking, it's like music in unusual places, isn't it? That's what it is. You set up and play music somewhere where otherwise there isn't typically music. It's not like the street is like a venue or a bar or like a concert hall. It's kind of like bringing music to an unusual place inherently. That's kind of what it is already.
it's one thing to complain and then you're driving me insane. Oh, then I think it's time that we took a break. Maybe I'm just trying too hard.
Come to think of it though, the street is like the original venue, isn't it? It's not an unusual place to play at all. One thing I love about busking, just one of the many things, is like performing gives you an endorphin rush, right? It gives you a high. And when the street is your venue, that kind of high is open to you whenever you want it. as long as it's a reasonable time where there's going to be foot traffic and the weather's good, that endorphin rush is enormous. Right, an hour and a half done, and we're gonna go to this unusual busking spot now. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Woo! I am busking on the side of a swimming pool as part of this charity endurance event. So basically, I'll tell you all about it afterwards maybe, but it's like a 47-hour swim, relay swim. It's so cool, and I'm part of the entertainment, so I think they've had entertainment all of the 47 hours. I think they're on like the 40th hour, something like this. So they've been going through all through the weekend, all through the night and stuff. Bonkers.
Daddy pulled up, I was down in the ditch, and he asked me what I did. There was this girl, beer in hand, shooting the lights, getting a trumpet. I'm still out of my mind, 'cause she's out of this one. Yeah, there was this girl. There was this girl. Awesome, man. I think that it's incredible what these people are doing. Especially because I've swam here a few times, and every time I swam here I wore a wetsuit because it was cold, even though it was the middle of the summer. Thank you. That's from the pool. That's awesome. So I'm predominantly a busker, and although I quite often play looking at the sea, I can't say I've ever played to a swimming pool before. But that's why I'm here, because I thought that'd be a pretty awesome thing to be able to say. Tell me we tried to that. Tell me we tried to the beach, yeah. Tell me which way to the beach. Hey, thank you so much.
Well, can officially say that I've done a busk next to a swimming pool. What's the most unusual place you've busked? In all seriousness, that was epic. Look at this giant. This is going to go in when they finish the 47 hours of the relay. Incredible, man. Sometimes I come and swim here. My partner Laura is a swimmer, that's what she does. She was meant to come and swim today, but she isn't feeling very well. Like I wasn't a couple of days ago. I think she caught whatever allergy I had. But what an incredible place, man. I come here swimming sometimes, and now I can say I've played music here. That's amazing. Well, there you go then. I can officially say that the most unusual place I've busked so far is a swimming pool. I just want to reiterate how rad it is to follow a path like this. The journey of a musician, because it does put you in some unusual but rad places, especially if you're keen for an adventure, both literally and metaphorically. That's today done. A nice little total for the day. I could set up again, do like a sunset busk, but I want to save my my throat, my voice. So I will see you tomorrow for a more usual busk.
Thank you for calling West Sussex County Council. Please note your call may be recorded for training and quality monitoring.
Hello, I'd like to book busking in Chichester today.
Busking, okay, let's just go on to there for you. Okay, that's all booked for you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Don't usually busk on a Monday, but this week the weather looks savage from Wednesday all the way through to the end of the week. Hopefully that will change, but I don't want to chance it, so I'm going to bust today and tomorrow. Now, usually on a Monday I'll do all my sort of social media admin, as it's the day that my YouTube video goes out, but not today. Today we can enjoy some cold but sunny weather.
Reported to a member of staff.
It's much easier to just schedule all your social media if you're going to do this kind of thing. It means there's less temptation to go on it for the rest of the week. What I try to do is only go on social media if I'm replying to a comment or messages. Try not to go on there if there's no intention, no mindlessness. And I find by having a day every week to schedule all my posts, that makes it really easy. Well, welcome to Chichester then. See what it's like on a Monday. Look over here, there's a bus as well. The sights you see when busking. Let's hope for a good day today. Like I said, not such an unusual place. In fact, this is a really nice place. I love an old city here in the UK. Anywhere in Europe really, but I really like it. It's nice, it's a nice vibe.
To Belgium first, some more gear in my 5-seater, oh man. We had to make it work, oh no.
One of my favourite things is when you know you've made your train fare back within about 20 to 25 minutes of playing. That's a great feeling.
Oh no. What I give to be there now. Instead of working, we go to work this somehow.
Going well. I do love old cities. I particularly love them because I love to think of the history of them and all the people, all the humans that have ever lived that have walked these streets and possibly encountered a street musician. That's a cool thought, isn't it? Some of you might wonder whether it's busy on a Monday, and it is. It's really busy. If it's like a city centre or town centre, then it's busy no matter what day of the week it is. If it's like a destination, like a seafront or like Old Town, for example, like Old Town in Hastings, then that's sort of reserved for weekends. People don't tend to be flourishing those areas unless it's a weekend.
And I don't care if Monday's through, Tuesday's grey and Wednesday to on Thursday. I don't care about you, 'cause Friday I'm in love.
But a town centre where there's shops, any day of the week. In fact, I prefer earlier in the week for town centres, I think. Usually less busking competition, if any at all.
to me one. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me.
Another thing I love about busking on a Monday is knowing that in a past life I'd wake up full of dread on a Monday, knowing that I had a whole week of work ahead of me in a job that I didn't want to be at. And these days it's just like everything is fun. Even the stressful things are fun. I love it, man. I'm just performing my heart out on the street and it's a Monday. That's what I do for a living. And I talk to this camera as well, apparently. Which I also kind of love.
She'd take Colorado if you take her with her. Closes the door before winter lets the cold in. No one to see you again, but I'm stuck in colder weather. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Can I call you then? 'Cause I'm a rambling man. I ain't ever gonna change. I got a gypsy soul to blame that was born for leaving. It was born for leaving. When I close my eyes, I see you. No matter where I am, I can smell your perfume through these whispering pines. I'm with your ghost again. It's a shame about the weather, but I know soon we'll be together, and I can't wait till then. I can't wait till then.
Oh blimey, every train I've got on today showed up as I got to the platform. Hence there's been no train B-roll footage. But anyway, it was a good day in Chichester. It was £90.78 for the total, which was rad. Although I think something happened with my card reader. It said £6.66 on card, but I could swear there was more taps than that. Those card readers aren't always that reliable. You have to watch out. It makes me wonder how often they go wrong for shops, you know. I'm going to bring you along tomorrow, and tomorrow I'm going to tell you a story, because I think you need one. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, time for a story. I want to tell you about something that happened literally 7 years ago, almost to the day. Let's go to where we're going first though. I'll tell you as we go. So it's October 2016 and my old band got to play our first ever US tour. And this for me was a huge dream come true. Like, I'd wanted to tour the US ever since I discovered Blink-182. But our US tour, it was one of the most profound things I've ever done. But it didn't come about how you might expect. Let me tell you the entire story. Ghouls were what's known as a DIY band. Everything we did it ourselves. Although we flirted with record labels and we had a few meetings here and there, every tour we did, every album we released, we did that ourselves. And And the US tour was no exception. This was a bunch of boys who wanted to make a dream come true. As a band at that point, we'd been going for a fair while, 3-4 years maybe, and we'd already toured Europe a few times, as well as the UK. But everything we did, we kind of made it happen ourselves. We reached out to promoters, we reached out to local venues in areas that we thought we could just try there, and kind of booked tours that way. Now in Europe, especially as a UK band or a European band in some way, that's quite easy to do. Definitely doesn't feel as intimidating as doing it in the US, and there's quite a good system for it in the Europe, as well as the US, as we'd find out. But what happened is a friend of ours who played in another band told us about this festival out in Florida, and he said, hey, I've got an email contact, would you like it? And of course we said yes. We emailed the festival in Florida and they said we could have a slot, and we thought, well, if we're going to go all the way out to Florida to play a gig, we may as well play a few more out in America, make a dream come true. So we emailed as many promoters, venues, anything we could get our hands on, starting in New York and ending in Florida over a 2.5-week period. And it seemed insane. It seemed like a completely bonkers thing to do. But after months and months of work, and I can't take credit for much of it, I was definitely more of a creative force back in the band days. We had a tour in the US, October 2016, baby. So the week before we headed out on that US tour, we actually played Brixton Academy in London, which is, I don't know, a couple of thousand capacity venue. We were supporting a band called Less Than Jake, which to date I think is the biggest venue I've ever played so far. Due to the nature of the way we'd booked the US tour, we played some funny gigs on that tour, man. It was like back to square one. All we'd asked for is gas money, and we were relying on merch sales in order to make it break even at least. Which we ended up doing, by the way. We ended up taking home money from that tour.
You better tie it down with bloody strong rope.
Yeah.
Because wind's good to get. You're going to get windy.
Now that's kind of the first part of the story. And to be honest, every day of that tour is its own kind of wild story in itself. So before I went on that tour, I'd been to the US before, but I'd never been to New York. And at the time, and still to this day, there's some sort of magic about New York. I'm a huge fan of Casey Neistat, and was even more so at the time because that's when he was doing his daily vlog on YouTube. So I could not wait to land in New York City, get to see it for real. So our first show was actually on the night of the day we arrived, so we were super jet lagged, and we ended up playing in some sort of basement in the middle of Manhattan to literally nobody. I think we played to the sound man and the other band that played. To go from Brixton Academy to that. But honestly, it didn't matter. The fact that we were there just made it just. I had a grin on my face the entire time. Being that it was our first time in New York City, we scheduled a couple of days off to enjoy the place. The days that followed that gig, I think there was 2 days, we had the time off before adventuring to Philadelphia. Literally the day after the gig and the day we arrived, I entered a half marathon. Well, me and the bass player entered a half marathon, like a running half marathon. So I don't often talk about my like endeavours outside music, I guess, often on this channel. But one thing that I'm very passionate about and have been for a while is running. I love running. I run most days, have done for like 10 years. And at the time, I really wanted to run like a race in America. That was like another bucket list goal. And me and the bass player of Ghouls, we used to do a lot of running together, especially whilst we were on tour, because we're both into the sport. So we decided to enter this half marathon in Brooklyn, and it was like a local running club's half marathon.
I ain't ever seen something's fine. Not doing anything to make her mine. I was out of my mind, 'cause she's out of this bucket. Where was this girl?
And this was the day after the show, so we were super jet lagged. We'd been awake for like 35 hours and slept for about 4, hardly eaten anything, and towed the start line of this race, which was along the Hudson River, and the first time I'd ever seen the Manhattan skyline and the Statue of Liberty. And it was wild.
Play this guitar. Say living there on the road don't get you very far.
And I'd say there were probably about 80 to 100 people there at this race. I'm looking around, I'm like, I can't see anyone that's like stands out as a really good runner here. Anyway, we tow the start line, the gun goes off, and the first thing I notice is I'm in the front. I'm ahead of everyone else. And I run for about 10 minutes thinking someone's gonna pass me at some point. I look behind me and the only person that's anywhere near me is the bass player, Sam. And he goes, I think you're gonna win. I'm looking at the Statue of Liberty for the first time. I'm looking at the Manhattan skyline and I'm thinking, I'm in the lead of a half marathon. But we all know that, you know, it's not a sprint. There was still a way to go. I couldn't be sure that I would win at that point. I am by no means the fastest or best runner. And it's just something that I do for fun. I have like, you know, it's a passion. Like a one that you keep for yourself kind of thing. But sure enough, I managed to run the entire half marathon out the front and came in first place. And there was a podium finish and everything. I have a trophy and it's still on my wall.
I'm still out of my mind, 'cause she's out of this world. There was this girl.
Not even 24 hours within being in New York, I'd played my first ever show there. And I'd won a half marathon. Now I've told that story because there's a few lessons you can learn from it that I think apply well to life. And they're things that I try to remember all the time. There are many stories I could tell you from just that tour alone. But the point of the story and the whole reason I've told you is the whole thing happened because we took action. There was something we wanted to achieve and we took action and made it happen. And that's what I want to get across. If there's something you want to do in life, take action and go and do it. Quite often the steps to get there aren't as many as your brain might tell you. You know, we think that there's 10 steps between us and what we really want, when usually there's only 3. And literally anything is possible when you really take action and decide to do it. And sure, you're going to come across challenges, you're going to come across hurdles, and things aren't going to be always as you expected them to be. But dang man, you can make anything happen. I think as musicians especially, but anyone in life, we have this idea that we can't do something until we have a certain something. For example, a musician feels like they can't release an album till they're signed by a record label, or they can't go on a tour till they have a booking agent, or they can't start earning a living from their music until they've, you know, signed a deal. That's just not true. Take action and find out for yourself. Busking in unusual places and ending up in unusual circumstances, like winning a half marathon in Brooklyn. Life is wild, dude. Life is wild. I was £61.90 here in Littlehampton. Not the greatest total, but I'll take it. It's fine. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, then click like. If you're new around here, then press subscribe. Join this wonderful community of rad people. If you're interested, then you can sign up to my Patreon where I post exclusive stuff. And if you're a true fan, turn the notifications on. I am August Radio Project. I make videos. They come out every Monday. Till the next one, peace, love, and happiness. See you.
This factory is not my home. Inside the machine, it's just not for me. Not spending my savings, 'cause I don't have any. There's too many places to go. I'll be spending all my time living out my bucket list.